Hi, my name is Tato. You are watching ESA Winter 2019. You are about to watch You Are Empty, 80% Sprint by Tezur0. Enjoy.
Good morning. And yes, the game looks fine. This is all intended. This is just how it works here on ESA. It's how it's been in 2016 or whatever. That's how it works now. Alright, hello. It's me again, doing my last runs today. Only 6 runs on this marathon, more than you can submit to a marathon. So this is Your Empty, this is Ukrainian shooter. Unfortunately, the only copy I had with me is in Russian, so, well, there isn't much talking, like dialogue in the game, so there won't be a big problem. So, we're gonna be playing on the easiest difficulty because that's faster, just because enemies are bullet sponges otherwise. So, well, I'll actually. Yeah, I can't play the cutscene, I know. As soon as the loading ends. Oh, okay. It was quick. So timer didn't start. Or did it? Rasmus, confirm. Is it running on the background for you? No, okay. Fine. Alright, so you wake up in a hospital and everything is kind of. I will explain what the category means later. Um, it's a slightly modded game, that's what I wanna say beforehand. So, sprint isn't like. I mean, it is kind of in game, but it isn't. But I'll explain it later. So it's a weird thing. So this is basic FPS. This game kind of wasn't huge outside of like Russia, Ukraine, and all that stuff. Right here, I'm gonna grab stuff, and here the nurse is coming, and she might flip her ragdoll. Okay, she didn't. So um, we can abuse enemies and go out of bounds. Hello. Yes, thank you. And completely skip parts of levels. Um, so the story so far is, well, I can give you a quick rundown of the entire story, to be honest. You are a government guard or something, you get hit by a car, you wake up in a hospital and everything is bad. Go figure. So here, we're just gonna slide up the thing. Okay, that kind of didn't go well. I need autosave. Because I'm not sure I quick saved. So what I was trying to do there is just slide up the pallet so that I can skip half of that level or something. Yeah, just like that. I mean, it doesn't seem like a huge deal, but otherwise you're stuck in like elevators and stuff in this hospital, and it's not a good thing. So enemies, well, this game has a good like enemy design, stage design, but other than that, it's a very poorly made game. It was overhyped everywhere where like I live and all that stuff. Um, but unfortunately, they should have probably gone like survival horror route, because the only levels which resemble horror are like the very first ones. But later on is just a very dumb tunnel shooter, or like corridor shooter, whatever you call it. So here, unskippable cutscene where the guys just ambush you. Um, so in the distance, I don't know if you will be able to see it during this cutscene. There's like a big monument, and we're just moving towards that monument. Basically, a Half-Life 2. That's what people are comparing this game on, to be honest. But really, no, not really. Maybe Half-Life 1 because it's basic shooter, but that one was revolutionary, and this one is just meh. It's fun speedrun though. So we arrive in a what's called kolkhoz. So this is where people work to get stuff done. I guess is it a good description? I don't know. So here you can just kind of jump on the wood and go out of bounds using the tractor. The game is very wonky, and sometimes you can get on top of invisible platforms, just like there. Also need to be very careful when I drop down the ledges, because the game actually runs on some insane frame count, like thousands or something, and it's not a good thing. Right. Here I'm just gonna try not to fall off the edge. That way I can stay out of bounds when the level begins and just completely ignore the sequence that's going on there. Um, So I have a Windows update pop up, and I'm not sure if it wants to reboot my Windows in 15 minutes or not. I'd better check it. Okay, no. Remind me in 4 hours. Postpone. Thank you. Saved! So normally this is where you would encounter the first... Okay, I will load. How did I run out of ammo? This is where you normally would encounter first NPC. Up until this point you have no idea what's going on story-wise. Like there are pieces of paper that you can find that will tell you that something happened. Let me reload while I'm at it. Yeah, as you could have seen, the loadings in this game are absolutely dreadful. We aren't playing on like slow drive or anything. I think we're on SSD if anything. And it's just how this engine, this is like a they made engine for this game based on God knows what, and it isn't really all that good. So you can hug the wall to not get any damage. Sometimes it won't cancel out, but the wall there is like high, like not tall enough to completely ignore everything. So now we're gonna get some hot grills action. Gonna grab shotgun ammo first though. So yeah, this is kind of a different category from any percent, just because you can do skips that you cannot do in normal any percent. We're gonna get to a very long auto-scroller now, so I will go on and explain. Oh wow, double kill from one shot, that was insane. So that was a chicken, the only one we see in speedrun. Like there are many enemies which are just barely encountered in a game. Here I'm just running forward and backward until the triggers itself. Let me explain about sprint while we're here. We can't get out of this cart, we just have to slowly move. So in this game's build, there is a sprint, but it's hidden in game files. I guess it was for testing purposes, and they had to remove it, either because it was breaking the game or because it really was just for testing purposes. But you can just activate it by flipping 2 switches in settings, which is definitely counts as modifying game files. I'm not pretending like this is normal game, but it makes this run so much better because your normal walk speed is like insanely slow. So here is a very precise skip, which I found accidentally. It might not work. I'm gonna go for a couple attempts because it saves more than a minute, even in such fast category as sprint. As I was saying, oh my god, the physics in the game are pretty wonky, and sometimes when you're at the edge of a ceiling which you can stand up on top of, game will just put you there. There we go, and we can just go out of bounds. And after a couple of seconds, this thing like comes down, and there is an invisible wall that appears right here, and you can't go through. So this is like, you have like one shot for it if you're playing without sprint. Let me show you the normal walking speed in this game. It's not that speedy, but any percent run is like also fun. It has its own strats for many things, but overall for showcasing the game, this is a better thing. So that skips going around the entire facility, picking up a nail gun. Here, I'm just gonna line up. Perfect. Like most of skips were found by me. Some skips were found by Cookie Slash. They were pretty minor, but he found the big in-game time strat. He found the safe hovering. I might be using it in one place. I'm fine with 34. So there's a what I did there is I landed on a slope, which cancelled some part of my damage, because technically that's a little drop right there. Little, not little. Well, I don't want to die. Let me grab health. Oh, I can't go there? What? Oh, I can. Okay. Yeah, we don't have nail gun now. It's the best weapon probably in the game because it has... Sorry, what? It has like 100% accuracy. The second best weapon would be the... how's it? The Pasha. It has some proper name. Spagin Automat? Is it Spagin? I think it is. So this is one of the... I think this is the first level where I found any skips when I was routing this back in 2014. So the reason I started routing this game is because of Amnesia speedruns, believe it or not. When Adam AK did... we're going way far in speedrun history right here. But when Adam AK did his Amnesia run in like GDQ in... What was that, 2013, and he was like in a dark room with the black glasses and all that kind of stuff. Only the true speedrun nerds will remember. That I kind of thought, hey, there is this game that I know about that may be broken, and it actually was pretty broken. You could go out of bounds in many different things. You can't use shovels or anything like in Amnesia, but you know, there is some different difficult stuff. So this level is very annoying. This is where they introduced the sniper rifle dudes, and there are two that I ignored, and they will start following me about right now. I'm gonna reload this thing and just kill the grand boy, whatever is he, granddad. That was fine. Okay. So next level is pretty linear, just in case we just happen to have donations, you can probably read them.
I can tell you about Save the Children.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so for 100 years, Save the Children have worked worldwide to give children a future. Working in 120 different countries, Save the Children reached 155 million children in their programs in 2017 alone. So yeah, if you're enjoying the event, please do consider donating for this amazing cause. We've so far raised $11,401.
Nice. So this area is really annoying. There's like a lot of these guys coming. These are, as far as the game lore goes, the only... Oh, 4 HP, jeez, that was close. Because the fade out is very long there. So this is a fun part. Here's a wall, so they didn't put invisible wall on top of this whole thing. You can just go here and just skip kind of half level. I should stop saying kinda. That's all I'm doing for this entire run. And by going over this wall, you skip, I don't know, 5 enemies and something. Alright, so we're gonna get trapped, gonna get all our weapons taken from us. There's also gonna be a cutscene pickup and pop up, and it doesn't work on this machine, so I just have to skip it with enter. So the engine really wants to try and load. Yeah, this is one of the few NPCs that we meet in the run. He's gonna try to explain us the lore, but he's mostly just being extremely sad that they just had a dream. We just tried to make everything better, but we didn't succeed. But hey, maybe since you're still alive, you can make everything go back, la la la. For no reason, he just, like, a random stranger walks into my room, killing half of my guards, and be like, oh hey, maybe you can help me. So he's still bragging about how it's too late to fix anything. It's actually not spoilers. So he's gonna give us the movie tape, like whatever, this big thing, which we're never gonna watch because we're gonna completely skip this level where you're supposed to watch it. As far as the game goes, it's linear, but it loads levels in chunks, and technically what you can do, you can go from part 1 of a level to part 3, but there won't be any triggers. So what we'll be doing pretty often is going to like a later part of a level through out of bounds and triggering the level ending trigger to load like the next parts through the next level. It sounds confusing, I'll just mention it again when it like legit happens. So now it's the Tram. Tram is probably one of the most annoying levels in any percent. In Sprint it's not so bad, just because there is a bit... What are you doing, dude? How did you not die? I headshotted you. Please lie down. The reason this level is like hard is because there's a lot of these guys. I'm actually gonna reload because there's one more. Here he comes. So yeah, I couldn't... Fun thing is, I couldn't practice this game on any PC at ESA, because it really didn't want to start on Windows 10. Luckily this PC has Windows 7, that's what we're using right now. But I've been running this game for so long, I shouldn't have any big problems, so this estimate, while being just like 5 minutes over my PB or something, should be safe enough. Funny enough, this game has 3 runners. It's me, Cookie Slash, and Tolerus. So here we just... oh, well, I guess he passed the way. So if you jump over this fence, the tram on the left doesn't activate, and... oh my god, okay. Jesus. The floor there is electrocuting you, so you're very quickly dying. But with Sprint we can completely ignore the tram. Here it is, just perfectly in it. And just run to the exit. If you can't sprint, you have to stay on the edge, and it's very tiny. It has like a 1 pixel left, 1 pixel right, and you just fly away because, as I said, wonky game physics, 1000 FPS. Okay, don't fall. So unfortunately, in this level you can go out of bounds in very many ways, but this level is extremely like long linear, so going out of bounds really doesn't do anything. I don't think you've seen this guy yet. He was already like appearing, but we completely ignored all his appearances. It's an engineer. They scrapped many enemies in this game in development, in days of development. But what I meant by saying about survival horror is that they had many ideas which would fit perfectly in the survival horror genre. Like they had idea about the enemy who would see you and start. Oh well. So what I tried. Okay, let me explain first. I tried to bounce off the box because sometimes with weird physics you can just fly over the wall, but that probably happens very. Hello, stop. It happens very rarely, so I just activate the dog as well, so that we can actually get over the wall if I fail the boost with the box. Where was I at before that? Oh yeah, survival horror things. I still can't explain it because this is the level where we're supposed to watch the movie, so we can just kind of ignore all of it and go to the exit. We'll never know what happened. Oh no. But what happened is they tried to program the perfect Soviet like citizen who would work for the best of all people in a country while not asking for much. La la la. But created a bunch of zombies. Good job. So this level you just skip this entire level by going out of bounds. There is an old strat which is more elaborate than that, but meh. Okay. Oh no, I still can't. Jesus. Yeah. This game has very many like sequence breaks. Like well, with or without out of bounds. What we're gonna do now is do like a complete sequence break because programming wasn't up. So this whole room is actually a big trigger, but it is not extended to the walls. So you can just glue yourself to the wall, and jump over this granddaddy, and fall down. Alright, now nothing is gonna be happening, so I can explain. It's morning, my memories. What do I want to explain? Jesus Christ. I keep forgetting what I wanted to talk about. Okay, I won't remember now. Good memory. Oh, come on. What do I want to talk about? That's not Stalin subway, yeah, but that's a good subway. I forgot what I was talking about. Well, good job, mate. Happens all the time. So you can get in. Oh, you can't get into that door. Okay, never knew that. So this is kind of a funky thing because the radio, the metro announcer talks actually Ukrainian, not Russian. But the city seems to be like very much like St. Petersburg or whatever, but it also kind of seems like the metro is Moscow Metro. So you can't really tell which city you are in. So yeah, door is fine. Don't worry. It just works. Maybe I'll remember on one point what I was talking about, but maybe I won't. Here you skip a couple spawns by going over the wall. This guy we have to kill because we still need his ammo. Here, important thing, we don't wanna sprint up the pallets which you can fly up with. This is the most powerful weapon in the game. I'm gonna ignore it because it's extremely bad. Well, it's most powerful by the devs. The idea how it should work, but in fact it's kind of pretty mediocre. What it does normally is you run out of ammo, and game just decides to give you the most powerful weapon you have, and gives you that. And it has splash damage, so you just end up killing yourself from like one shot. So here's Electro, we're gonna ignore him. Oh yeah, I remember what I was talking about now, and it's perfect time to talk about this because this is just the area where there's pretty much no sequence breaks. So they had a lot of like survival horror mechanics, which would be good, like enemy who would attract all the enemies in nearby areas. The big enemy, which we kind of seen, but I don't think I showed it off, but it will be later in the game. And there's only a couple appearances of it. And the other stuff, which they just had to scrap off when they were developing the game, because they were either running out of budget or running out of time. And most of it can still be found in game files. In case you wonder how it all looks like, I would recommend, I'm not sure if that channel is still existing and what it's posting at this point on YouTube, but there is a emo level designer, I believe. He did a lot of digging in the game files and found a lot of stuff. So here, nothing in the air, right? Suddenly a lot of boxes, just development things. So you cannot speed this whole section up, unfortunately, but that's what we get. So now we're coming to the Opera House, the level which has the absolute unit, best ballet dancer in the world. But we gotta get to him first. He's the true Chad. You will see, you'll understand. This is who Chad was pictured from the famous meme. So this is, oh no, this is the first skip I found in the game. So you can just kind of jump on like edges of the garbage here and skip going around the first floor, which is extremely helpful. This skip skips a lot of spawns, and now I just wanna stay on sofas for as much as I can to not spawn psychos who are somehow in here in Opera House. Oh, I didn't reload. Well, that's smart. So well, I wonder if they will clip through the floor. Oh yeah, he did. Look at him go. All right, here is your boy.
О, спасибо, спасибо. Ах, мне так неловко. Ты так рисковал ради меня. Даже не знаю, чем
Neck
тебя
boy
поблагодарить.
or leg boy, I don't know.
Проход
He's
traversal.
he's all of it.
Оттуда выберешься на крышу здания. Будь осторожен.
So what he's just trapped on the other side of the door, and he goes like, "Oh hey, please rescue me," and then you rescue him, and he's like, "Oh, I can go now," and you can go on the rooftop and like do your things. He's gonna get killed. He actually has damage. He can like. There's something I want to show you. I'll have to flip him with weapons though. It's very important. Yeah, when he dies, his eyes pop out. Very spooky. No idea why though. So here I'm gonna just pick up extra ammo and go here. And this is a bit of a boring section. Nothing's gonna be happening. So I'm gonna give word to Josh. Yes.
Okay. So, I have $25 from Anonymous, who says, early morning speed running. I think they spelled speed running wrong. PogJam.
Pog. Stop. Jesus. Stop shooting.
And then I have
Yeah.
$20 from Anonymous, who says, I'm a sucker for terrible games, and this looks amazing. How did you find out about this game?
Well, I am Russian, and it was very hyped. So, I mean, every single like game journal were writing about it. So it was impossible to miss this game as a Russian. So here is the big boy I was talking about. He has insane amounts of HP, so he could have been easily a boss for like survival game, not like anything. But yeah, this game was in like all the game journal magazines or whatever, and to miss it, it was completely impossible. So we're just gonna ignore this Electro. He's probably gonna fall down. So I bought it the day it came out, and it also ran very poorly. This game is from 2005, from what I remember. That's 1 year after Half-Life 2 came out, and you can see how it looks. So this is the level where I managed to accidentally discover that you don't take damage from the slopes, but I mean, I'm gonna try do the old strats. It's fine. But what you can also do, you can just drop down, quick save before you hit the ground, and then quick load, and all your damage gets cancelled completely. Which is extremely useful in certain scenarios. Like let's say you did a jump in second level and you kind of mistimed it and you just went flying. Previously I would have just died, but after I found that thing, I knew that I can just quick save before I hit the ground and I'll be fine. It will waste me some time RTA, but later when load removal became a thing, that was hardly an issue. So this level called roofs, as you can imagine, and we just skip all the roofs parts, and getting into level ending trigger, which for some reason is extended down, conveniently enough for us. So this is the level I was kind of mentioning, that it consists of out of 3 parts, and all 3 parts are preloaded. So they have collision and anything, but only 1/3 of script is loaded at the same time. So I'm just gonna go completely ignore everything we have to do in this level in order to reach... let's not fall. This is very tricky platforming section, and just gonna reach like the middle area of second area of this level and just go back. Yeah, here we're going back. I'm gonna go through this area like right now. I'm gonna hit this trigger. Normally I would fall down, but my health is kinda low, so I'd go and grab some health here just for safety. Here's a fireman. If you fall down and progress enough before fade out, you can actually skip him spawning. And that's how you try to do it. So, okay, this is annoying trick for which in-game time strats are used nowadays. So what you can do is you can safe hover, but load... oh, what? Stop doing this. But loading takes insane amounts of time, so I'm just gonna try and do... and well, I did just now. Thing I was explaining a couple times already, that the game sometimes just decides to put you on top of the ceiling which you're trying to jump on, even though you shouldn't be able to get there. Like, you're lower than the ceiling. So here we have dogs fighting this guy. We're gonna help the dogs real quick because we need to go on a rooftop, and they will help us. Dogs are very useful. Their hitbox isn't... well, that's not very good. They just made me get stuck there in the corner. Their hitbox extends up when they stand on a back pause, and that's how we're gonna get on a rooftop. Come on, get here, doggo. Wowie, come on. Stop damaging me, thank you. Oof, that was a bit rough. But yeah, we can skip again, we can skip entire level. Technically you can get here from the very beginning, but there are no triggers, and you can get behind that wall easily if you don't load any triggers like dogs. Going here to activate the train, otherwise it just doesn't work. Oh no, not the train, the other thing. There's an invisible wall that disappears after you go through this door. So now we're gonna activate the thing. And now we can get through here. If you don't go through this door, this area here where I crouch right now is closed because reasons. Yeah, so without triggers you can actually get to the end of a level, but you can activate it. With triggers you can get there, but you cannot make the jump to the level ending trigger. Oh, you actually can, but I just think that the level ending trigger is tied to you riding the train. So we're actually in the last act of the game already, so it's 3 levels left. Mostly outer scores, yeah, cutscene, I know. And technically not much left. It's like the most boring stuff, but we are approaching the obelisk. This is the Half-Life 2 of this game. I'm gonna snipe a couple... oh, what? This one should hearing the first, to be honest, but okay, I guess. They also had flamethrower in the game files, but I guess it's there only because there are firemen who use flamethrowers. Just here, I just kind of can hold spacebar. This is first out of bounds glitch in this game, like legit out of bounds. So how I was routing this game, well, first of all, I tried to look if somebody else did the runs, and surprisingly enough, in year 2013, I think, some guy on SDA did a run, and he didn't upload it to SDA, but he did post about his routing on the forums. And what happened is, for some reason, this guy got banned from both SDA and YouTube. So the only thing that was left from him is his times for ILs that he was living. And nothing else could have been. I didn't know. I still don't know who the guy is. I never contacted him. Never found his videos. But I had like time steps. What I have to do. Like how low should I lower the level, if it makes sense, the time on each stage to get to his time. And I managed to. I was basing my routing on that, and then I found a lot of more new stuff. And then I was very tired of any %. It's way more optimized than sprint in my opinion. However, probably both runs are equally good optimized. I've been playing this game for a good chunk of time on some point. But yeah, whoever that guy was, bless his soul, because otherwise I might not have found certain things. So here I wanna slightly push this guy in a showcase more glitches. Okay, perfect. Let's go. Extreme violence. He just kind of gets stuck in textures. It starts wobbling. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, whoever the guy was, bless his soul. Because so many levels, I just thought, okay, that's optimal. And then I go to the timetable that he has. It's 1 minute fast. So I'm like, gee, dude, what else do you do? So here's where we forced to pick up the electro gun. This is Tesla Cannon, I think it's called in the game files. So here you can kind of crouch, and the game will just see no hands. I'm not holding the crouch, and the game will get you stuck. This part is bulletproof. You can hit it with. Here it makes noises if it's solid. But yeah, this is just a long train ride, so I'm gonna give word to Josh.
Alright then. We have $5 from Anonymous with no comment, but they did put their donation towards Cuphead All Bosses. Cuphead bonus run, regular legacy apparently. But yeah, I will tell you about Växjö, the city we're in. They're partnering with us for this event, helping us out. They are one of the most prominent IT clusters in Sweden, so there's tons of IT companies around here. I went to Max earlier, and like right outside there's like this massive building that's just a massive IT company. But yeah, it's a beautiful city. Have you been around Tezur0?
Yeah, I've been, well, mostly not this year. This year I haven't been walking around, I've been mostly around hotel. But in 2016 and 17 I walked around quite a bit. We even went to like some castle and stuff.
Oh, sick. But yeah, it's a lovely city. And soon ESA Arcade will open within Växjö, and they'll have Juby, DDR, Groove Coaster.
Groove Coaster is for life. Yeah.
Tetris, Candy Cabs, Pinballs, and more. And all of those machines are actually around the venue right now, so we've all been having a good time with all that stuff.
We don't have Quick and Crash, sadly.
Okay,
it's too big to fit the doors, I was told.
All right.
So now we're approaching the end. There's still final boss, which we don't fight, he just dies. But mostly the last fight incoming right now is just 4 enemies or something, and this is Soviet technology, just pieces of metal flying around, beam of light. That's how you know that this is. That's how you know this is future. Future is right here. I don't know how this whole system works. How this elevator goes up? Nothing. Well, maybe there is a platform below me actually. So that may still be making sense. So here, as soon as you shoot which guy? I think it's this guy. Hello. Oh, frick. No, don't land on me. Don't kill me. So these guys can jump on you, and the physics will glitch out, and you will just die because of collision problems. So there is also one more engineer, but he kind of ignored us. Look how cool he is. The enemy design in this game is interesting, and there are more cooler enemies that never got to release. We can't shoot anymore. We're locked. He's go your way. Ignore me. I'm just chilling. So now we arrive to the last level. It's called Final. Very fitting. Alright, there should be a cutscene. Yeah, I know. And well, he'll just go, hey, we wanted to succeed, but we didn't. La la la. But you know what? We actually did succeed because you are the person we were trying to create. You are the perfect human who just does everything like la 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 la. So I'm not sure why, but he goes, you can choose if you want to leave this world the way it is, or if you wanna like alternate the history. But by saying that, he actually doesn't give you a choice, because that elevator is locked and you cannot go down. So the only thing you can take is go time travel. So this is the scientist we kind of saw in the beginning of a game, but cutscenes aren't working, so I can't show you it. Unfortunately, cutscenes in this game are made very nicely. They have a very nice art style. He's kind of dying. Like, you cannot skip it. The level ending trigger appears like later. You can like climb around him and everything, but not much you can do.
Ты можешь вернуться в прошлое и остановить рождение великого.
So yeah, he just goes, hey, you can go back and stop the great conversion, or whatever it's called. He's calling it. So as soon as he passes out and I get electrocuted, that's when it's time. That is a really good run for a no reset run in like half a year. I think my PB is like 33 minutes RTA. Yeah, 33 RTA and like 31, 20 game time. Come on, mate. Shock me. The timer didn't stop again. Help me, tech station, stop the timer. It's time, we did it. Timer doesn't work. Fix this button. So yeah, this was Your Empty. Hope you enjoyed it. This was my pre-last run. Today I'm gonna run another Russian game, but this time proper Russian. This was Ukrainian. It's called Swarm or Morphex or Symbiont or whatever. It has many names. I'll talk about it later. Hope you enjoyed this run. I'm glad I was able to do it. On some point, I thought it won't launch at all because not a single PC was handling it, but this PC luckily saved us. So yeah, next up is VK running Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Spec Ops on the veteran difficulty, so stay tuned.